What's up, my PT peeps? One Eye Bri back to talk about The Walking Dead and Season 7 discussion about Daryl will be Ruthless in Season 7. Spoiler warning if you're not up to date on the show, and a little from the comics as well, but just general spoiler warning about The Walking Dead Season 7, and here we go. We don't want to ruin it for you, so like I said, Season 7 spoilers. INQUISTIR, we're going to reference this article, which is pretty awesome. They got 2 of my videos in there if you want to check it out. Link will be in the description for it. Despite a Norman Reedus nude scene, The Walking Dead Season 7A lost millions of viewers. Thankfully, Season 7B promises to be everything Season 7A was not. The Walking Dead fans will be overjoyed and will hopefully resume watching the show. The Walking Dead's ratings plunged to a 4-year low with their mid-season finale, according to Econo Times. Not since 2012 has The Walking Dead attracted so few viewers. Thankfully, the show will be picking up the pace and action. Norman Reedus fans should be satisfied with the latter half of Season 7. And Norman Reedus definitely was broken down in the first part of the season, and it's going to be nice to see him turn it around. It might be a little too much because he's going to be kind of pulling no punches and just taking out the saviors whenever he can. He's not going to think twice about it. It's kill or be killed, and he knows that, and the saviors are definitely the enemy in his eyes, and really the whole group's eyes, and I know I can't wait to see it. This whole season has been really hard on me. I was talking to Melissa, and she was like, you know, it's interesting. Your character has literally been stripped of all of his stuff. His outfit, who he is, been taken from his people, and everything else. It's just been rough, all of it. It's been a rough season for me and for all of us. We're not together as much as we're used to being. It's been hard, says Norman Reedus. The Walking Dead fans, and especially Norman Reedus fans, found Season 7 very difficult as well. They complained that it was boring, depressing, and Reedus fans did not like seeing Norman Reedus, Daryl Dixon, degraded. The majority of Walking Dead comic book fans love Season 7, but Norman Reedus fans and fans who have only watched the TV show are not really enjoying Season 7 so far. Norman Reedus, Andrew Lincoln at the Walking Dead panel this Walker Stalker in Atlanta this October, and we saw it firsthand. Norman Reedus and really Andrew Lincoln both said it, that Season 7 has been tough to film, and you can see why, especially for Norman Reedus. It's been a tough season for him. He's been beaten down, broken down, listening to terrible music, and it's tough to watch, especially if you're a fan of Norman Reedus and Daryl Dixon. The Walking Dead's Norman Reedus, together with the whole cast of characters, will be springing into action in 7B. The group is going to come together. Virtually every cast member will appear in Episode 9. Norman Reedus' disturbing scenes in Episode 3 had a tremendous impact on his character, Daryl Dixon. Daryl is a changed man after being beaten, tortured, and abused. In Episode 8, Norman Reedus fans saw a different Daryl as he beat Fat Joey to death with a metal pipe without provocation. Could Daryl become a bit more like his brother? I kind of hope so. Daryl is pretty awesome. Merle was pretty good too. I liked Merle. I thought he was the comic relief of the show for a while early on. But, you know, part of me did feel a little bad for Fat Joey, but then, you know, he had to do it. You know, Daryl can't trust the saviors and do anything. The group's back together. We're going to see a lot of the group, really all the group, in Episode 9, which looks to be great. Starting off Season 7, Episode 9. The second part of Season 7 going to be great. Far different than the first part, so those fans hopefully come back to the show. Daryl has changed. He's got to get new clothes on there too. We got to get his vest back and everything else, but he has changed. The Walking Dead fans will have to wait until February to find out just how Norman Reedus will play his crucial role in the zombie thriller. What is obvious though is that the fans will see a different Daryl Dixon. Now some spoilers. We're going to talk about a couple of things going forward in the second part of Season 7, so if you don't want to know, stop watching now. Spoilers are coming. The Walking Dead fans will be glad to see the cast finally fighting back again. Season 7A saw a substantial drop in their still impressive ratings, but fans complained that the plot was moving too slowly, and they hated seeing the cast, especially Norman Reedus, as Daryl, suffering. So that definitely is not fun to watch if you're a fan of Rick's group with the whole Negan thing taking over. But the way it ended, Season 7, Episode 8, going to get their mojo back and get it going again. Daryl is going to be changed. I mean, I don't know who he's beating up here, maybe beaten to death and whatever, but Daryl has had enough, and it's changed him. He's going to be taking out some saviors, that's for sure. I mean, it started last season in Season 6 with Denise being killed by Dwight, and he should have killed Dwight, and that's for sure. So we'll see how it goes down, and I'm excited for it. Norman Reedus as Daryl Dixon will come back with vengeance in February. Daryl is a wild card in this comic book driven season. The writers are sticking to the source material implicitly in Season 7 of The Walking Dead. Fortunately though, Daryl isn't in the comic books, so fans might get a few surprises for him. Overall, for those who have read the comics, Season 7 is pretty much by the book, and it really is. It's great, and I think I like it, but ultimately, Daryl and Dwight are pretty similar in characters because of the comic book relationship, but they only exist together in the show, not the comics. Daryl is not in the comics. So Daryl is, like I said, a wild card. Going forward, and really all the time, you just don't know what he's going to have. Is he going to take some character's source material from the comic, or just be open to interpretation on the show going forward? Now, the potential character filming guide by the Spoiling Dead fans, Daryl we're going to see a lot in the second part of Season 7, which is great. He's going to be in 9, 10, 13, 15, and 16, the episodes. So we're going to see him right off the bat, and I like it. I like to see that, especially when they go to the kingdom. Now, this is the big thing I have the questions about, and only time will tell when the episodes come back in February, but this scene right here is a big one going forward. Now, as we can see, Daryl is there at the kingdom, but in the comics, Daryl doesn't exist, of course. Dwight shows up, and Rick does not like that. He's like, how can you bring this guy here? Because Dwight goes against Negan in that. Does Dwight show up in this episode? I don't know. I kind of hope he does, and don't know how they would get around that if Dwight doesn't go against Negan here and link it all together. But does Daryl punch Dwight in the face? I don't see Dwight and Daryl coexisting. That's kind of what's showing here with the pieces, that it was Dwight's room, or a reference to Dwight at least, if it was not his room. He made the figures here out of the wood back in Season 6, Episode 6, I believe, and Daryl's pissed. When he flipped the table, it was pretty hilarious. But I just don't know if Daryl and Dwight can coexist, because if I was Daryl, I'd want to kill him. That's for sure, especially for Denise and all the other stuff, not just the torture. And unless Dwight really did some major things to say, I helped you get out, I did this, and I was responsible for a lot of good things going forward, I just don't know. Now, the other thing, can Daryl fill Dwight's role? But he can't. He can't really take over the Saviors, because Dwight's role is that. So only time will tell, and I'm interested to see what you guys think about that, and let me know. But also want to tell you guys about our 25,000 subscriber quiz. Join our Walking Dead community page on Facebook to be eligible to win. We're going to do a quiz about that. It's pretty cool. You'll be eligible for that. You'll post your answers on the community page on Facebook. So let us know what you think of Daryl for the second part of Season 7. Join our Walking Dead community page. Links are in the description to be eligible to win on the quiz. I think we're doing top 3 prizes for that. Let us know what you think of everything. And as always, guys, thank you for watching.